There are one or two cardinals from Asia that certainly I think will be featuring in conversations in the general consistories that sorry, excuse me, the general congregations that precede the conclave, which I think is due to start a week Monday. There's Cardinal Tito Tagle, who everyone has a fairly high media profile. He's quite well known around Rome. He's one of the sort of, I guess you could say, three or four cardinals who enjoy a certain amount of name recognition, even if people don't necessarily have a firm grasp on who they are underneath it all. He's certainly a possibility, and he is, pretty warm on the China deal. He's pretty happy with it. That it's widely understood that he got his job as head of the church's department for the evangelization in the Vatican, what used to be called Propaganda Fide back in the old days. That he got his job because his predecessor was moved out because he was insufficiently keen on the China deal. So Cardinal Tagle does come with that sort of baggage or endorsement of being open to warm relations with China and sort of see that as steps that can be taken in a good direction. But equally, you have Cardinal Bo from Myanmar, who has been a fierce and vocal critic of China and the Chinese Communist Party, and denounced in previous years the Vatican's China deal as a sort of betrayal of Catholics there, and indeed of the Church in the Asian continent. So you have polar opposites, sort of there, both in the same conversation. So it'll be interesting to see who chooses to raise the issue as the cardinals are meeting and discussing. Who wants to frame that conversation around the next pope.
Well, I promised I wasn't going to try and get into runners and riders, but given that we've just been talking about Asia, and of course China against America as the two competing superpowers in the world is one of the big political stories of our time, the geostrategic stories of our time. I've heard some people talking today about the possibility of an American pope. Do you think that is a likely outcome?
No.
No.
No, I would predict a pope from almost any other continent before I would predict one from the United States. I think there's one Canadian in the mix, Cardinal Collins. He'd be a great pope. I'd be happy with that, but I think it's unlikely. I would be shocked for a North American to step out under the loggia when it's all over. I think there have in the past, and even the recent past, been Americans who might have been an interesting candidate for the job, but they have by and large aged out. I think Cardinal Sean O'Malley, formerly of Boston, was probably the last one who had a sufficiently global profile amongst his brother cardinals that may have been considered as a candidate. But as I say, he's over 80 now, so he won't even be in the conclave.